Hey guys, it's Missy Wolf, and I'm here with Mickie James.
Well, hello.
Oh, you have such an amazing career. I just have to say.
Thank you.
I'm reading your bio, and I've known about the WWE, but I didn't know everything behind your wrestling career. I did not know, about all of the titles that you've won and what your goals were. I didn't know anything about all of that. And then you have country music, and I'm like, you're one of the girls that inspires so many young people who have more than one dream. And
thanks.
And
thank you.
I think that is incredible. And I wanted to focus on that today because I think that when people have more than one thing that they want to do, that they shouldn't be discouraged to try. And you're the perfect example of that. And it's definitely commendable. And so I got to know, how in the world have you been able to balance? Because your music is phenomenal. And then everybody knows you as this amazing, I'm just going to say it, kick-ass wrestler. So how has that been for you?
You mean transitioning from music to music? It's been fun. It's the music for me, it's a creative outlet. It's a different type of creative outlet.
Right.
I've been wrestling since I was 18, and so I started on that path and absolutely love it. But for me, especially being on the road so much, I found that it was especially writing was a really good outlet for me just to get out thoughts and frustrations and whatever else that was going on, because you have so much time to yourself on the road. At one time I think I was on the road close to 300 days of the year, and that's a lot of time to yourself. Driving and traveling and airports, and so I just felt like I connected a lot. I didn't I didn't watch a ton of TV, but I connected more with music, and it just kind of inspired me. So for me to be able to share that and then maybe share some of my experiences through my lyrics or whatever, it's cool for me, and it's just fun. I love it.
Well, and you've had music. I mean, you played for, in school for 5 years, you played violin. So, I mean.
Oh, I still have it. I still have my little violin.
Do you? I still have my clarinet. I love it. I think that's great. But, they always say that music is so important in school, and I've been a firm believer of that for so long. So learning that you had music in your background, and and it was your father that introduced you into wrestling, if I remember correctly from what I read.
Yeah, my dad was a huge wrestling fan. He would watch it on TV all the time, and that was kind of our bonding experience. Because my mom and dad separated when I was really young, so. And when I would see him, that was just the connection that we had, and we would watch it together, and it was fun, laugh at the characters, be mad at him or whatever.
Right.
My dad, whatever it was, So that's kind of where I fell in love with the whole acting part and the characters and that whole thing. So and I think that's what I really connected to, and that's what I wanted from wrestling was. It wasn't just the athletic part. That was fun for me. I grew up on horses, and I trained horses all my life, so I was naturally athletic, and I was fortunate in that aspect. So I picked up on the techniques and stuff pretty quickly. It was learning to tell the stories and stuff, that's the part that it took longer for me to connect. Character development and that stuff is really what fascinated me. It's how this one person who's just Mickie James in real life, everyday girl next door from Montpelier, Virginia, but can transcend and become this superstar of a character on television, Mickie James, the wrestler, the personality,
Oh, and you are so sassy in some of the videos that I have seen, and the one where you came out looking like Trish, oh my gosh, I was hysterical. And you were just sassing her with the championship belt and the ring, and I was like, wow, this is awesome.
That is awesome. Thank you. No, that's cool. It is cool because that's the part of it for me that's the fascinating, is making people feel something or connect with that storyline and be like, oh, look at that's crazy. What is she doing?
Right. I mean, you look like you always had so much fun with it too. So it's just and that
the thing is you have to love it.
Absolutely.
With anything is when you love what you do, when you love what you're doing, it just translates. And I think that also translates to the audience.
Right.
Where they feel that love, and in turn, even without knowing that they're doing it, they then reciprocate that love, because it's just kind of like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I am so happy that you've done all of that, and you've done really well. But I'm so glad you're in country music, and you have a voice that is so desperately needed, I think, in country music. The need for women who have great vocals and can be a part of the music world, to me, is just we've had so many male top 40, but I'm like, where are the women at? It's time to get them back here. So
right, and the kick-ass women, and not just women for the ballads, and like,
right.
I feel like it's too often that women get thrown into those, even though they can sing their asses off, right?
Right.
They're rocking, and they're
right.
fortunate to have like Miranda Lambert's out there that can kick ass on the vocals, and
absolutely,
like, be a sassier version to contrast like the Carrie Underwoods, whose vocals are, no one can touch her. Like,
oh yeah, she's.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like just that, those different types of
absolutely
lollipops.
I love it, and you're Somebody's Gonna Pay. Oh my gosh, the title. Well, that's the name of your album, but the title track as well. Oh my gosh, I was watching the video too, and I was like, way to incorporate some kick ass in that video. I loved it. I loved it so much, and I actually was playing it for a group of people that were at my house, and I was like, check this out, this is great. And when it got to that one scene, everybody was like, oh. So it was just, yeah. So whose concept? I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't seen it. I want them to watch the video. But the concept of that video, who do you credit with that?
I have to say it was a lot of the director. My director, Blake Judd. He kind of, the music. Zan, who was with the label E1, he was in love with the Some Guy Don't Pay. It's obviously a throwback.
Right.
It was originally done in the 80s, right? So we kind of revamped it and rocked it out, and it.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, right? So
no, it was so awesome.
It's and then I was fortunate enough to have Trish Stratus. She came in and she was the bartender in the video, and then my fiance Nick Aldis, he played the boyfriend, right? That
yes,
guy in the end, yeah. So it was cool to have like those different players, because then we were all able to kind of brainstorm and come up with like cool ideas and concepts of what would look really good and what
right.
Yeah. So.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
No. Thank you. That was so awesome.
Yeah, like we released that. Somebody's Gonna Pay in 2013, and I've had a son since then, and life has gone, just been crazy. So
absolutely, I was going to talk to you about that. I mean, so your son's name is Donovan, right? But yeah. I read that you take him with you on the road.
I do. I do a lot, which is really cool because I'm fortunate to be able to do that because I have friends and family, and usually, typically, someone can travel with me. Now he's getting to where he's walking more and doing stuff, but he, depending on whatever, he may not come with me as much as anymore because he's not as dependent on me as he was. So.
Right. But kudos to you for doing that because, I mean, as a mom, I know what it's like and how much work they are. And when, you're trying to balance things, like it can be difficult. So the fact that you were able to, take him with you, whereas, I mean, we all know we've seen celebrities who they have hired full-time nannies and they just go about their business and the full-time nanny is raising their kid. So kudos to you for that because that is something to me as a mom that is so important. And, and I'm not judging anybody else, but I just think it's so great that you were able to do that. And that
I'm really fortunate in that aspect. And
that's
as much as possible. And it's cool because especially at his age right now, like, he can see so much and do so much, and it's not like he has to be in daycare or he has to be in school every day or anything like that, that we're taking away from that. And, like, I think if it became to a point where it was taken away from things that he wanted to do, whether it was soccer or whatever, then, you could always address that. But right now it's like, I love it, and then I don't feel like I'm missing out on all these moments of, like, his first steps or things like that. So
Oh, that's
obviously those things, you do run across those things when I've had to leave them at home, and I'm like, oh no, he's been missing.
Right, I know. But you know what? Even in a normal everyday life that doesn't require being on the road, that happens. You could go to the grocery store and somebody's watching them, and oh, guess what happened while you were gone in that 15 minutes? So, right. That's total real world stuff. So that's great. Now you've played CMA Fest. And I love CMA Fest. And in fact, when I do a lot of my conversations with people, it's one of my favorite things to talk about because there's so much going on at CMA Fest. And do you have plans coming up for the 2016 CMA Fest?
I'm hoping to. Yeah, I mean, I'm going back in February, and I'm writing with Bridget Tatum.
Okay.
For some new material for, like an album to come up. And so then she co-wrote She's Country for Jason Aldean. So she's awesome, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so hoping to get some good stuff together and like start, pulling a new album together and hopefully be able to promote it, come CMA Fest. So, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I've been out there a couple of years and it's just crazy. There's so many people. And I played the Hard Rock stage there last time, I think. And I played there a couple times. It's awesome, because there's so much going on and so many acts and there's so many fans out there. And there's just, it doesn't matter where you go down Broadway. There's something happening.
Oh my gosh, it's just wall to wall people, and there's so much to see and so much to do. It's just crazy. Even if you have a list planned out of what you want to do, I guarantee that it's going to change because there's surprise guests all the time, and there's so much that goes on that isn't even listed, that when you're walking around that place, it's just crazy,
you
insane.
You never know who you're going to run into.
Exactly.
Randomly in the bar, and Jamie Johnson shows up, and it's just like, whoa, wait.
Oh yeah, I was walking down a back way to the riverfront stage, and I was just walking down I don't even remember I think it was that's the name of the street that I can never pronounce, that the Fanfare X is on, whatever that street, it starts with a D. Anyways, I was walking down that street towards Riverfront, and I just ran into Kenny Chesney. It was crazy. So yeah, there's all kinds of people there all the time, and it's really insane. It's fun. But out of all the places that you've traveled around the world, like and with playing your music, what has been your favorite venue to play?
Oh wow. I would have to say. It was one of the first shows I did, and it was the Dustin Wells benefit concert at the Wild Horse in Nashville.
Nice. Yeah. I love the Wild Horse.
And it was awesome too because I was so nervous, and I was very fortunate to be able to go up and sing. But Little Big Town was there, and Rascal Flatts were there, and it was just like such a massive show. And there was, it's not a huge venue, but the sound and just the vibe from the people and everything was just perfect. It was perfect.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm glad that, you were able to have such a good experience. I know you said you were nervous, but I think feeding off the crowd's energy and stuff like that and being in such a cool place kind of eliminates a lot of that, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, I have to tell you, I was looking at your gallery, on your website. You have one of the coolest websites ever, but your gallery, you have so many amazing pictures. Number one, you need to be patting yourself on the back. You look great. You look great, but I wanted to tell you and I don't know where this came from or why you were in this outfit, but it's my absolute favorite picture of you. And it's where you were wearing the little checkered flag tutu and the little hat.
Oh yeah. So that was a WWE shoot. And what was it for? I have to remember because we all ended up shooting. It was like a NASCAR themed kind of.
Okay, I was going to ask if it had anything to do with NASCAR, but oh my God, that was the cutest, most fun picture of you I think ever. All of your photos are gorgeous, but that one just stood out to me, and I was like, oh my God, you look so sassy and cute and fun in that picture, and I don't know why, I just had to talk to you about it. And then you're a part of this amazing radio show called Project Lips, and which is with Heart Songs for Veterans. And I know that I've been talking to a lot of artists through Heart Songs for Veterans. We're trying to spread the word. Center Stage Magazine loves what you guys do, but I haven't spoken to anybody yet about Project Lips. And so I wanted to hear from you what that experience has been like and what it is that you guys do.
Well, it's been pretty awesome. You know, I talked to Jill, and Jill kind of brought me in through Bob and Sue and Mike, because I met them before promoting my album.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they knew that I had like a real passion for veterans, and because I've been to Iraq with WWE a few times, and so I think it's just amazing what they do, and I've learned so much just being a part of Project Lips in the few months that I'm a celebrity ambassador and I guest host, and so it's myself and it's Kenna and it's Mickie and Jill, and
right.
So Jill really is like she runs the show in the sense of like, and she tells me everything that's going on and breaks it down, and obviously Kenna has such a strong relationship there because of her husband, obviously, he was wounded in Iraq, and then so she does a lot of like for the honor heroes, and because she knows a lot of them through working with them or visiting with them in the Walter Reed Hospital or whatever. And so it's just, I feel like I learn something every time I'm on the show, like a different, like I didn't realize this last show that we did that they can, replace, you can have your limbs donored, like arms and legs. And this is all fast. Like I was like, this is where we're at with modern technology. Like we can like replace physically an incomplete arm. Like, obviously it's 50-50 chance. But if someone loses an arm in battle or whatever, then, there's the modern techniques to replace that. But there's so many people on the waiting list, and there's been so much injuries and everything. It's just, the heart songs, give all back to the veterans. And they have artists, and we have artists that we play that all the money from their songs that they've released through Heart Songs and for veterans then go back into like the station, and none of the hosts, they don't take anything. Like no one takes, right? Like everyone just kind of gives their time, and it's just great, and it's a great group of girls, and we have fun, and we talk about politics and fashion and veterans and just so many amazing things. It's definitely like a hodgepodge of characters and personalities as well. So it's a fun show. It's fun, and it's for a great cause. And for me, like once a week, it makes me, for the rest of the week, I'm like, that's, I look forward to the next one,
Well, absolutely. I mean, especially when you're walking away with new information and you're learning things. And, you were talking about, the transplant of, limbs. And it's crazy to me that they do that. And I remember as a kid watching that movie Body Parts. And that was like the whole subject of that movie was some dude was collecting parts of people and trying to do, transplants and stuff. And I remember thinking, oh gosh, this is so crazy. This will never happen. And then boom, it's happening. And it's just
just like, I remember that movie. You remember Face Off, obviously.
Yes. Yes.
And then recently there was a gentleman that had and it's completely like accepted it, and he's had a whole face transplant.
Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh.
Insane. It's just so amazing. It's scary, but it's amazing.
I know. And it really is. And then you go back to those movies, because I remember when I heard that on the news, and my first thought was that Nicolas Cage, John Travolta movie. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Face Off is really happening.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I know. It's so amazing what the human mind is capable of creating and coming up with. It's insane.
That we're constantly evolving and becoming smarter. And
definitely. And, hopefully there's more and more people who are willing to be donors. Then, I mean, if these things are happening, I know definitely for me, once I discovered that, these things are actually happening more and more, it changed my whole outlook on, what do you do with your body when you are no longer needing it? Let's donate the entire thing to somebody if it'll help them,
Right. Absolutely. What am I going to do with it?
Exactly. So,
and Hearts, they also do things with like the warrior, with the dogs, like there's a lot of veterans that are in need of, assisting dogs that can, are trained, and that's the whole process. So we raise money for that, and we raise money for
that's great.
The flights, the flights to get the family and children to see their fathers and mothers at the Walter Reed Hospital, so their Blue Wings. And so and Delta is a big partner with that. They donate miles, and it's great. Like it does so much, and so even like as we're going, like I was talking about writing and going in, so I was going to donate one of the songs as we're coming out, like to Heart Songs for Veterans, obviously, as part of an ambassador and as part of one of their artists. So yeah.
Oh, that's great. Oh my gosh. Well, I am so excited. So how do your fans, how are people going to be able to connect to you and be able to help out with this? Because this is amazing.
Well, obviously there's heartsongforveterans.org, and that has like all of our show times, and you can click on the little Project Lips button. You can also find it. My easiest contact is mickiejames.com, my website. You can find my Facebook through there. You can find my Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Yeah.
And then I'm sure you have links to the Project Lips through your website too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then
their own page.
Perfect. So then what we'll do is we'll make sure that when we post all the links to the article that everybody can follow you, and then they can access you on Project Lips through your website then as well. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. Now, I know 2016 is going to be a great year, and you said that you're going to be working with somebody in February, so we can't wait to hear what you guys come up with and what you have coming out. So as soon as you have more information for us that you want us to promote, let us know, and we'll definitely. Oh, no, thank you. You were so much fun. But before we go, I have to tell you that one of your biggest fans Facebook messaged me today telling me that he wanted me to tell you hi, and he was so nervous that he couldn't figure out a question to ask you. So he just wanted to tell you he's a huge fan, and he loves your music and everything, and his name is Paul Herring. So.
Oh, hi, Paul. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I love when fans like that, because I'll post on my day, what I'm doing, and he was so excited. So I was like, okay, absolutely. I'm so going to tell her that you said hello.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's why I love Twitter and Facebook. And I still have a snail mail, like snail mail kind of address. And it's nice to get like letters from all over the world from different fans. So you read them and I'm like, oh man.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh, how fun. Well, yeah, and you don't hear that anymore. I don't hear about fan mail. I hear about messages and stuff like that just on email. So that's great that you have that. And I love when fans can actually connect to you, and you seem like such a great girl that is very responsive to people. So, hats off to you. And my gosh, you're such a great mom taking your son on the road. Like that just really touched me. And the fact that, you're such a great example for young girls. I'm so excited that I got to talk to you today, and keep up the amazing work. And we will just, keep doing what we can to help promote you. We love Heart Songs for Veterans too. So anything you need at all, you just let Center Stage know, and we will make it happen.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
No. Oh my gosh, thank you. And have a Merry Christmas. Oh my gosh, I forgot. It's just a couple days.
I know. I'm not even ready.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, you go. Enjoy the rest of your day. Get ready for Christmas, and we will talk to you soon.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.